Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Godam Anandam Sadguru Pranatos. Dear Divine Selves, today is a great and one of the most sacred occasions in the calendar of Sanatan Dharma. Today is Sharad Purnima, the winter full moon night. This night, the full moon night, at the beginning of the winter season, is a very, very auspicious and sacred occasion for Hindus, because the mythology has it that on this day, Maharaas, the supreme transcendental divine lovemaking between the Supreme Lord Krishna and his beloveds, the gopis, happened in Vrindavan. And so this day is celebrated as the day and the night which is vibrating with very high frequency of love, bliss and beauty. The love absolute, beauty everlasting, and bliss eternal. That Maharaas is symbolic of the supreme bliss and love that is birthright of being, the eternal love-making Maharajas, broken, unconditioned, absolute, to tell the ordinary human beings its symbolic spiritual significance of that Maharajas. When Lord Krishna, the divine of thousands of beloveds who were the enlightened seers, after realizing their true nature, they had incarnated or had born in flesh and blood as gopis, celebrated and known as the beloveds of Lord Krishna. But it has a deeper philosophical and spiritual significance and meaning for each one of us. That Ras, the Maharaas, the supreme transcendental eternal love making is birthright of each one of us. Don't think that only Krishna was privileged and programmed as the incarnation of Lord Vishnu to enjoy that divine bliss. You and me and every human being is programmed to enjoy that Maharaas, the eternal, lasting, and infinite love making, because out of ignorance and delusion you have identified yourself as male or female. You are male and female both. Essentially, you are Jiva and Shiva both. You are Bhakta and Bhagavan both. You are mortal and immortal both. You within yourself are eternal and ephemeral both. You are absolute and unconditioned both. Both the opposites are within you. It's up to you whether you identify yourself with the ephemeral, mortal, momentary, or the one who is unconditioned, absolute, eternal, intrinsically blissful, the bliss, love, and beauty of yours is not dependent on anyone else, anything else. It's your natural right. I'll explain in brief where are the gopis within you and where is Lord Krishna within you. Where is the Jiva and where is the Shiva, and what within you is the mortal and what within you is the immortal. And once you know that, we will begin the journey of Maharaas, the eternal love making that will happen within. Because all the gopis and all the gods, all the lords, all the gods, and all the devotees are inherent within you. All the lovers and all the beloveds are already within you. But you have, under the delusion of your body identity, been made to believe that you are one single fragmented individualized, atomized, alienated individuality contained in this mortal body made of blood, bones, and flesh. You have to discard this long-held belief, which is source of all suffering in your life. So, how to enjoy and experience right now, right here within yourself that Maharaas, the supremely divine, transcendental, blissful, unconditioned, and everlasting love making within yourself. That is the meaning of Maharaas. Today, on this Sharad Purnima, the entire cosmos is so much intensely vibrating with the energy of love, love unconditioned, bliss absolute, beauty everlasting. And that is there within you in your true nature. In very simple terms and in very brief, I'll explain where and how this Maharaas can happen and does happen and must happen, and why is it not happening. You have three identities or three layers of identities or three individualities. I'm trying to put different words to simplify it, to make it possible for you to understand, since you don't know the metaphysics of Vedanta. You have three bodies. Let's understand this way. You have an dense body. Yoga Vashishta Maharamayan, one of the greatest treatises on Advaita Vedanta, will tell you that you have three bodies. The first one is the dense body, the body made of gross Panchabhuta. Know that body, Thul Sharira, the physical body that you wear. The second body of yours is the subtle body, Sukshma Sharira. That subtle body of yours, or subtle individuality of yours, consists of your mind, thoughts, various functions and modifications of the mind alone, like thoughts, cravings, desires. These are all functions of mind. Experience of pain and pleasure, honor and dishonor, good or bad, success or failure, pain or pleasure. These opposites, the feelings, cravings for the external world, the desires for sensual enjoyment, all are the function of your Sukshma Sharira, subtle body, that is essentially the mind. Both of these bodies and identities of yours are false, illusory, and therefore responsible for all the bondage, sorrows, and sufferings in your life. So, which one is the third and real body or identity or individuality of yours. The third body identity or individuality of yours is that Swarupa of the nature of pure consciousness. Within your man, life force within you, pure intelligence. Intellect is part of mind. I am talking about intelligence, pure awareness, pure consciousness, the power to perceive, observe, the capacity to see, the ability to see. That is known as the seer within you. Within you is your identity, is known Atman, Paramatman, Brahman, God. You in reality, in ultimate reality, are not this body. Really, you are not this body, nor are you the mind and various mental modifications. You are the Atman, the seer. The pure consciousness within you is your true reality, because as long as you perceive and believe and identify yourself as body and mind, you are in bondage, you are bound to her. You are bound to remain shackled in the shadows of sadness, because body and mind are illusory identity and personality of yours. They are ephemeral, mortal, illusory, non existential in ultimate reality. They are mere ideations. The density of the ideation and imagination alone has manifested as this gross body and subtle mind, but they have no existence of their own. So, as long as you continue to identify yourself as the dense body or the subtle body, you are not going to enjoy the eternal bliss, immortal love, everlasting beauty that is intrinsic to you. And unless and until you have access to that unconditioned love making, repeat the word in a very specific sense I am using, unconditioned, independent, absolute, eternal love-making. The transcendental bliss and divine beauty, that is the nature of your third identity, your third personality, your third body. That is your real identity. That is the Atman. The consciousness within you, the pure awareness within you, the intelligence alone is known as Atman or Paramhansa, Brahman or the supreme force. That consciousness is your right identity, true individuality, supreme personality of yours. And once you begin to break free from the first two identities of yours, once you, through mental suggestion and practices, you break free from the long-held belief that you are body and you are mind. If you break free from that shackle, the shackle that has prevented you from enjoying the eternal bliss of immortal love-making, the Maharaas, which is your birthright, which is ever available, which is knocking at your door. The garden of Vrindavan is eternally present within you, where Lord Krishna did this Maharaas. It's just symbolic. Everything Lord Krishna is ever present within you as pure consciousness, and you as Jiva, who has identified as this ego-based body-mind personality. Now that Maharaas, the supreme and eternal love-making, will become possible only surrender to Lord Krishna. Remember this symbol. Lord Krishna is one, but gopis, the beloveds, are in thousands. What does it signify? What does it mean? Did Krishna surrender to gopis or gopis? The unconditional love of the gopis for Krishna is a precursor and precondition for this Maharaas. Similarly, within us, you, me, and every human being, the appearance of millions and billions of human beings and other living beings represents the gopis. As long as you continue to identify yourself as male or female or Indian or American or European or good, bad, ugly or white or black colored, it's all distinction is born out of your body identity, mind identity. So there is no possible Maharaas, eternal and unconditioned bliss to be experienced and enjoyed by you, as long as you, the ego-based, gopis symbolize the ego, individual, personality-based identity. You have to surrender, you have to merge your individuality into that Supreme Lord, The Supreme Lord in that Maharaas is Lord Krishna. But right now, right here, that Lord Krishna is ever present, ever available, and prepared in the cosmic dance, the celestial and transcendental, eternally blissful, immortal dance of ecstatic bliss. Once the gopis, symbolized by ego-based jiva, the jivahood individuals are prepared to take the refuge of the Lord Krishna. Who is Lord Krishna? The pure consciousness, the pure intelligence, vast and infinite space of pure awareness alone is the supreme truth, the supreme Lord, symbolized by Lord Krishna. So if you either body identity, the dense identity, or the gross identity, and asthula sharira, and then the sukshma sharira, that is the mind and the internal organs, remain as your primary identities. There is no possibility of that Maharaas, the supreme blissful eternal love and love making, and the joy of unconditional and absolute joy of that is not possible. But the moment identity, that is the mental identity, means the ego. We say, I am this person with particular person with particular name to these particular parents. I live in such and such parents. I live in such and such a place is identity. The moment you realize the illness, the falsehood of your physical body and mental body, and then you surrender and get ready to dissolve into that Lord Krishna of the form of pure awareness ever present within you. Care, understand it carefully, very intensely, think through deeply. Nature is conditioned love. Love is the consciousness, intrinsic, your awareness. The sense of and perceive in you is a shadow of the beauty within you, the beauty of pure consciousness. Why gopis have to surrender or take refuge in? Because gopi existence, their beauty is spiritually only gets taking refuge as a bhakta in that supreme, that whose nature is beauty, love, bliss, and are never ever present either in body nor in mind. Mind is nothing but mental modifications, ideations, sankalpa vikalpa, compulsive chain of thoughts. You imagine of a particular lover and beloved or love making, or the company of a particular lover, a beautiful woman, a handsome man, you mentally imagine that. What in ordinary little fantasizing. In that particular context, it's called fantasizing, but every human being is essentially fantasizing and fantasizing and fantasizing. The so-called love or love making between the lover and beloved, the wife and even the wife and the husband, what you call the real love, the actual love, it's all fantasy. It's all fancy, it's a mental modification. You have come to believe that, oh, she is my wife, or he is my husband, he loves me, he is source of my love. Oh, my beloved is source of my love, bliss, and beauty. These are all mental myths you have created out of delusion. There is no external force which has any iota of love, bliss, and beauty other than the supreme identity and personality of yours, that is of the nature of pure consciousness. And pure consciousness is non-dual, one indivisible personality, reality. The bodies and body identities are in millions, billions, and trillions. The mental modifications within a single human, thousands and millions of thoughts arise in a single day. But pure consciousness is one. It ever remains as the true existence, the substratum of even all bodies, the mental modifications, and everything else that is ephemeral or momentary, substance and substratum of even that ephemeral pleasure or sorrow, nothing but that is your true, your real. If you enjoy love, Maharaas narrated various mythological stories, is just to instruct you, just to tell you the possibility and potential that is ever present within you and me. And this Sharad Purnima is meant for that only, that you dissolve your individual identity, ego-based body-mind identities mentally. You don't have to chop off your head or cut your body to pieces. No, that is not the way. You don't need to do that. It's all mental. The bondage is mental, therefore the freedom too is mental. There is no real bondage in fact. You have some long held beliefs about our finite, ephemeral, conditioned individuality as the body. Since you continue to identify yourself as this body and the mind, you are bound to suffer. you are bound to be afflicted by various ailments, physical, mental, emotional, and various types of sorrows and sadness. Therefore, the simplest and supreme method of and science of eternal joy, immortal bliss, and everlasting beauty, that is what the Maharaas is all about, which is unconditioned. It is not dependent on anyone and anything else. Though as a metaphor, as a mythology, the Maharaas is happening between Krishna and the gopis, but the ultimate Maharaas, and that Maharaas is not happening in the sphere of duality. As long as gopis have a separate individuality, the Maharaas cannot take this. They are complete, unconditional, unequivocal surrender to that supreme reality symbolized by Krishna, which provides the background of non-dual merger or realization. In duality, there is no possibility of Maharaas. The eternal love-making is not possible in the world of duality. The world, the ephemeral world or the phenomenal world around us, whatever kind of joy, bliss and beauty you enjoy here is bound to be ephemeral, mortal, momentary. So that transcendental divine bliss, which is called Maharaas, dawns only and only when you realize your true nature as the non-dual. That Maharaas, the divine and transcendental bliss, is possible in the sphere of non-duality. When you realize that there is nothing outside me, I alone as the self of the nature of pure consciousness exists in every single atom, every single sphere in the cosmos. I alone, the one indivisible, pure consciousness, vast space of pure awareness. On me, on the surface of me as pure consciousness, on the substratum and background of me, I am the background of entire universe, the illusory appearance of this ephemeral phenomenal world. This entire universe, visible universe, is just an appearance on the screen of television or appearance on the canvas of a painting. This entire world of duality is a mere appearance, imagination. It doesn't have any true existence. Once you know the source and substratum of your own existence, you realize all diversity is false. All duality is illusory. All plurality is mental construct. And by realizing your true nature as the seer, ever-present seer, illuminator and revealer within me is the supreme truth, the God, the Atman, the Paramatman, or Krishna, the metaphorical or mythological Krishna. That is the Krishna. And this Sharad Purnima, if you want to usher yourself in a vision where this Sharad Purnima and the story behind it is just a reminder and invitation and invocation to Lord within you and ego-based individuality too. That as long as you continue to remain encaged and imprisoned in the belief of an individuated gross body mind, fragmented separate identity, you will continue to remain in bondage. Therefore, let's do the direct post experience, Maharaas. Explain the of in philosophy and the which spirit Maharaas. I've experienced that Maharaas mentally dissolving our dense body, that is the physical gross body, and mental body, sharira, subtle body, which is source of all desires, cravings for pleasure and avoidance of pain. It's all illusory. Become a barrier. The infinite that is possible for each which will go try to free the body may identify as that supremely blissful, eternally loving, pure consciousness. Every atom constituting pure consciousness. Though I'm using a term of the physics just to make you understand, there is no atom. Every single atom and fraction of the atom of the consciousness is infinite. But just to indicate for lack of language, because that is why it's called the supreme truth is inexplicable. So love, bliss and beauty is in to pure consciousness. Maharaas and the bliss of eternal lovemaking is natural to you as pure consciousness. This is your birthright, because birthright in the sense the moment you identify yourself as nothing but an ocean of vast ocean of pure intelligence and infinite space of pure awareness, unbound and limitless mind of all the treasure and glory that you could imagine of, you and you alone. Nothing exists beyond you and outside you. You are the God, you are the goddesses. Just imagine as Maharshi Vasishta instructs Prince Rama, and that is what I am instructing here. Imagine that anything and everything that has been done and being done and will be done by Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh is being done by you and you alone. You are Brahma, you are Vishnu, you are Mahesh. You are the creator of the universe, you are the sustainer of the universe, you are the destroyer of the universe as pure consciousness. That's why you are almighty. That's why you are omnipotent. Just identify yourself as pure consciousness and the rest will take care of itself. You will experience the Maharaas, the joy of Maharaas that happened between Krishna and the gopis. So the gopis being present within you and me as the body identity, the ego-based individuality and the mental modifications have to be dissolved and they have to take refuge into that one supreme reality of your everything else that is of the nature of pure. And then you see, we will do that. We will do that. We will take the help of, if those of you who have some experience and knowledge about meditation and samadhi, you can go straight whatever way you can go. The ultimate purpose of all these scriptures is to realize the self, the true nature of yourself. And for that, you can take the help of one of the Mahamantras we could use in the beginning. And then the soundless, but the practice in the beginning for the beginners. I personally may go very shortly without any mantra into that state of Maharaas. So we can begin that journey of identification of ourselves with our true identity, the identity of the seer within. So in meditation and samadhi, what are we going to do? Let me simplify it in brief. We are going to see the seer. You have to search for the seer. You have to look for the seer within. You have all through your life looked for the external world, the seen, the sight, the objective world. Now take a U-turn. Now look for the seer. Once you manage to locate the seer, and the seer is ever present within you. Once you close the eye, take your mind and its mental modifications are dissolved, nothing but the seer remains. And once you begin to identify with that seer is Soham. When you say Soham, I am that, it means that seer within you, you are identifying. So far in your life, you had identified yourself as external reality. Your body is also an external reality. Your mind is also an external reality. Don't think that these are internal and intrinsic to you. No. The mind and body exist within you. So throw them away for the time being. You are not the mind, you are not the body, you are not the senses. You are only that pure consciousness which is at the moment seeing, perceiving and observing everything. So observe the observer, see the seer, perceive the perceiver by the mantra Soham. That So symbolizes only the seer, perceiver, observer, the supreme observer ever sitting there. And that seer alone can do Maharaas with the gopis. The gopis arise in, upon and through that pure consciousness alone. They have no independent existence. So go to the root of your existence, of your identity, right within yourself. Look for the seer. Where is the seer? When you locate that, then that is called, when you are asking, Koham, Koham, who am I? What am I? Koham, 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 who am I? The journey begins with the question, fundamental question. Who am I? Then you realize that the seer within, there is nothing other than the seer. Who is saying, who am I? Who is asking? Who is asking the question? Once you manage to locate the questioner, the real speaker within, That one is the supreme reality. That one is your supreme identity. That is God, that is Atman, that is Paramatman, that is Brahman, and it's ever present. And that alone is equipped with, programmed with Maharaas, the eternal love making. So we are going to enjoy that Maharaas, the eternal love making within ourselves by breaking free from our physical and mental identity and enter into the identity, form identity of the seer of the nature of pure consciousness. Once you manage to firmly identify and stay there, perceiving the perceiver, seeing the seer, and observing the observer, you will see the Maharas happening. The sun doesn't have to put efforts to emit light and heat near the fire. The fire and light are natural to sun or to fire. Similarly, love, bliss, and beauty, you don't have to do anything. You just have to identify your true nature. Then there is infinite reservoir of love, vast ocean of bliss, and unbound virgin mine of everlasting beauty right within you. It just has to be experienced and enjoyed. You don't have to labor, to put any effort. You just have to enjoy. The only thing you have to do is to identify yourself with the pure consciousness, the seer within. The rest will happen automatically. You don't have to do anything. Then the Maharas will happen. Let's do that.